Have you heard of TryHackMe? If not, you should be using it. So let's get started. So today we're going to be going over the Junior Penetration Tester. This is a path that I started on my own. Let's get started with the introduction to web hacking. You can see here it's broken down into different sections, and I've already completed a couple as I mentioned. So we'll start with the walking and application. So it starts off with a free room and a machine that you can start. So we don't necessarily have to start, at least for walking an application, because this is very straightforward and easy to complete, and you can just click complete with the first question. So the next task is exploring the website. So let's get started there. So as a penetration tester, your role when reviewing a website or web application is to discover features that could potentially be vulnerable and attempt to exploit them to assess whether or not they are. These features are usually parts of the website that require some interactivity with the user. Finding interactive portions of the website can be easy as spotting a login form to manually reviewing a website's JavaScript. An excellent place to start is just with your browser, exploring the website and noting down the individual pages, areas, and features with summary for each one. So they give an example here of the different locations of websites and their different pages, from a home page, latest news articles, contact page, etc., etc. And so once again, this section is fairly straightforward, and you just basically click the completed button below. And then task 3 is viewing the page source. Task 3, if memory serves me, is a bit more involved, so we'll go through this and I'll show you how we got to it. So the page source is a human readable code returned to our browser or client from the web server each time we make a request. The returned code is made up of HTML, hypertext markup language, and CSS, cascading style sheets, and JavaScript. And it's what tells our browser what content to display and how to show it, and adds an element of interactivity with JavaScript. For our purposes, viewing the page source can help us discover more information about the web application. So how do I view page source? While viewing a website, you can right-click on the page and you'll see an option on the menu that says View Page Source. Most browsers support putting View Source in front of the URL, for example, such as View Source, http://www.google.com. In your browser menu, you will find an option in the View Page Source. This option can sometimes be in submenus such as Developer Tools or more. So basically what they're talking about is if you right-click on a web page, you can click on View Source, or you can use a more advanced tool called Inspect, but they haven't gotten to that yet. So if you clicked on View Source, it basically gives you all the different HTML and CSS that's running in the background that gives us how TryHackMe looks. So if you keep reading, you'll see that they give you an example of, once again, the source code and how it looks. And then they ask you a couple questions below. And so I've already answered these questions, but we'll go through them and I'll show you how I got to the answers. Viewing the page source can also often give us clues on whether a framework is in use, and if so, which framework and even what version. Knowing that framework and version can be a powerful find, as there may be public vulnerabilities in the framework and the website might not be using the most up-to-date version. At the bottom of the page, you'll find a comment about the framework and version in use and a link to the framework's website. Viewing the framework's website, you'll see that our website is in fact out of date. Read the update notice and use the information that you find to discover another flag. So we got to go back up here, start a machine. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, guys, we're back. Got my instance of Kali Linux up and running. So let's get to it. All right, so the first question is, what is the flag from the HTML comment? So we look at the page source code, and at the very top we see a comment that says this page is temporary while we work on the new home page and then a directory. So let's copy this directory and then add it onto our link above. Get rid of that slash, hit enter, and then there we have it. This is our first flag. Copy that flag, bring it over to our page, and there we go. That's the first answer. Comments are dangerous. What is the flag from the secret link? Well, what do? We go over here, look at the code. Our dedicated staff is ready. Add a secret page. So let's click on the secret page. And then we find the next flag right here. THM, not a secret anymore. Okay, great. Now the next question, what is a directory listing flag? So these guys are a little bit tricky, and that's kind of what I like about TryHackMe, is it really makes you think about where you need to look for things. So we have the Acme IT support page, and it asks once again, when we go back to the question, it says, what is a directory listing flag? Okay, so directory, right click, inspect element. When we're in debugger, we see a file called assets, so that makes me think maybe we can access assets. Let's find out. Lo and behold, we can access assets, and look at all these different listings, and there's a flag.txt, so let's open that up. Bingo, that's our next flag. Copy that, bring it over to TryHackMe, and put it right in. And then the last question is, what is the framework flag? So let's go back to my test account. So we have Linux, and the question was, what is the framework flag? So this was the framework. Let's go to home. There's no information here. Quickly building fully functioning websites with features, new portals, current version 1.3. Let's try the changelog. Version 1.3, we've had an issue where our backup processes were creating a file in the web directory called temp.zip, which potentially could have been read by website visitors. This file is now stored in an area that is unreadable by the public. So let's try copying this. Going back over here to the website, pasting that in and see what happens there. Okay, so we have a zip file. So it should be safe because it's TryHackMe. So let's go ahead and download it. Open it up. And look at that. We have our next flag. We open up that text file. THM, keep your software updated. We can take that, copy it, bring it over, and that's our next answer. In the next video series, I'll start going into developer tools and the inspector, the debugger, and the network. Keep studying. See you guys later.